could attend the contest even from India. Over to you, Mr. Contest Chair, DTM Manas Al-Bukhari.
Thank you very much, District 79 Director, Distinguished Toastmaster Abdul Ghafoor. Thank you very much for your presence. And I acknowledge the presence of the division leaders, district leaders, and area leaders, area directors who are present here. And I am sure I will look forward to hear from all of you soon after the contest. However, thank you very much for joining in so early, and I am hoping that you will all enjoy a great evening with us, where you will see Tajians contesting with each other with a mighty contest spirit, which we always are proud of. Now, that's awesome, and we have a very long evening to go. Let's quickly come back to business. Today's first place winner will represent us in the area contest, which will take place on 14th January 2022. They will move one step closer to the Division B speech contest, which is supposed to be held on March 18th, 2022. For each contest, if the first place winner is unable to attend, the second place winner will compete at the next level. I hope everything is clear, but with our contestant briefing, which took yesterday, with the help of our chief judge, I think everything is very clear for all the contestants. But however, it is time for a chief judge briefing, and that comes without announcing, because it is one of the mandates of our speech contest. For that, we have an eminent personality. He is a great speaker, an amazing leader. Professionally, he heads training for SLC training company, and I have personally enjoyed working with him as his team member last program year while he was the president of Taj Toastmasters Club. Let us put our hands together to invite our Division B Director, Distinguished Toastmaster Dr. Mahesh Pillai, who acts as a chief judge.
Thank you, DTM Manas Al-Bukhari. The District 79 Director, DTM Abdul Ghafoor, other district leaders, Contest Chair, Area 6 Director, Toastmaster Abdul, Club EXCOM, my dear participants and guests. A very warm good evening. Good evening. Tonight, we will witness the first episode of Taj Annual Speech Contest for the program year 2020, 2021, 2022. Two vibrant categories, evaluation and humorous speech contest. The contestants and role assignees have been briefed, and draw for the contest speaking order has been completed. Before I go for the evaluation and humorous speech details, let me tell you that photography or recording of the speech is not permitted. All the videos and the photos will be taken by our official photographer, Cavalier Rose Mariam. And the speaking area we already marked here. You can see the marking on the floor. Please try to be here. The judges are online. So if you go out of this area, you will not be seen by the judge. And access to the stage, please don't use this side because we have a trailing cable here. It's not saying there's a possibility of trip and fall. So on the right side of the stage, my right side, that area is kept free for the contestant to access the stage. So let's move on to the evaluation speech contest. The evaluation speech shall be 2 to 3 minutes. Contestants who speak less than 1 minute 30 seconds or more than 3 minutes 30 seconds are disqualified. Green light on the card will be displayed at 2 minutes and remain displayed for 30 seconds. The yellow light on the card will be displayed at 2 minutes and 30 seconds and remain displayed for 30 seconds. The red light or the card will be displayed at 3 minutes and remain displayed until the speech is completed. The light will be on, but if there is a failure of the light, the timer will show the coloring device or the color cards. The timer is sitting right in front of you. And no other indicators will be given by the timer during the speech. Are there any questions or clarifications required? Okay.
Area of these.
Area of the speaking area is here. You can see the marking here, 2 white marks here, and backside also. So be here in this area, otherwise you will not be seen by the judges. Is it clear? Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Any other questions? Hearing none, we'll move on to the humorous speech contest. For the humorous speech contest, the timing will be between 5 minutes to 7 minutes, with a grace period of 30 seconds on either side. That means a speaker who speaks less than 4 minutes 30 seconds or more than 7 minutes 30 seconds will be disqualified. The lights will be activated as follows: green light at 5 minutes, amber light at 6 minutes, red light at 7 minutes. And will stay on until the conclusion of the speech. No notice shall be given should a speaker go over time. Prop and suitable apparel will be utilized. The contest chair must introduce each contestant as follows: contestant number, name, title, and the contestant number, name. For both the contests, there will be 1 minute silence between the speeches. At the end of each category, there will be a 3-minute silence after the last contest for the judges to mark their ballots. To judge the contest, we have a panel of judges who are highly experienced, and I am confident that they will select the best out of the best as per the GMI law guidelines. I cannot reveal their identity. Rest assured, they will select the best speakers tonight. As the timers tonight, we have Toastmaster Mansoor Alam will be the chief timer and ably supported by Toastmaster Umesh Kumar. Chief tally counter is Toastmaster Viju Joseph and ably supported by Toastmaster Philip. The complete team is ready, arrangements are made, and let us congratulate ourselves with a big round of applause. Regarding the protests are limited to eligibility, originality, and reference to other contestants' speech, and must only be lodged by the voting judges and all the contestants. Any protest must be lodged within the chief judge and or the contest chair prior to the announcement of results. Dear audience, you have an important role. Please encourage the participants, the contestants. All contestants have put in a lot of efforts. Your supports help them to perform better. Those who have joined online, please keep your audio off throughout the contest. This is to avoid any disturbance during the contest. If the video is on, then kindly encourage the speaker by showing the interest or a smile on your face. I have completed the briefing. Are there any questions? Hearing none, I'll hand over the lecture to the contest chair, teacher Manasam Bukhari.
Thank you, Chief Judge. Well, it takes a lot of work to prepare for a contest. It is our task to provide a fair contest for all speakers. All Toastmasters contests have a lot of requirements for participation, and all that have been met. And thank you, Chief Judge, for taking care of that. All contestants and judges have been briefed and were confirmed to meet those requirements. Our judges have been briefed by the Chief Judge and provided judging forms to the types of contest tonight. All contestants and officials have had an opportunity to review the official rules. I would remind again and request Sergeant at Arms to remind anyone joining late to please turn off all electronic devices that may produce any sound. So you may please kindly cross-check on your mobile phone, because let me also do that while I tell whether my device is on a vibrate or a silent mode. Watches, etc. Anything that has a potential of sound must be turned off. That's it. The door will be opened only during the 1 minute of silence during speech times. People are not allowed to move from the hall or are not allowed to come inside the hall. This is applicable for the Zoom host as well. Kindly note, you will not allow participants to enter the Zoom room while the meeting is happening. Exit, the contestants can definitely exit from the Zoom room. I have no control over that. Contestants, are you ready? Are you ready?
Yes.
Audience, are you ready to listen to some awesome evaluations and human speeches?
Yes.
Well, let us start our contest with the evaluation contest first. To contest, to make this contest happen, we have a contest master. He is coming from Pudukkottai, Tamil Nadu. This Toastmaster has been working as an associate professor in medical bacteriology at King's Tower University, and his research field is multidisciplinary science. I really don't know what that means, but however, I'm always amazed to see that he has published around 175 scientific articles from his research area. It's very difficult even to submit a speech of 5 to 7 minutes to our mentor, and he has finished 175 scientific articles. It's amazing. And for the last 9 years, he is living in Riyadh with his family. Let us put our hands together for our contest master, Toastmaster Dr. Arunachalam Chinnathammy.
Thank you, Contest Chair. Every moment is a fresh beginning, said Eliot. Contest Chair, Chief Guest, my dear Toastmasters, warm good evening to all of you.
Good evening. Good evening.
It is my pleasure to welcome to you Area 6th Division 3 Annual Speech Evaluation Contest for the year 2020 and 2021. Toastmasters are in a long journey of improving public speaking skills and leadership qualities. Irrespective of our own capability to assess our own performance, it is always good to have someone listen to our speech and give a feedback. Such feedback can certainly improve the skill of public speaking. The constant improvement of each performance of the Toastmasters goal. In order to achieve this goal, we need someone to evaluate the performance and get to move the next level. Speech evaluation play a vital role of Toastmaster learning experience. Now, please allow me to get to the contest. Let me begin by explain the time requirement and the criteria. The first, timing. The minimum qualifying time is 2 minutes and maximum time is 3.5 minutes. Mr. Timer, shall we test our timing device? The green light shall we switch on 2 minutes. Yellow light 2.5 minutes and red light 3 minutes. Once the red light is on, speaker has 30 seconds to wrap up his or her presentation. The red light will be remain on even after 3.5 minutes, so that the contestant will never get any indication if he or she is qualified. The criteria Ladies and gentlemen, the judging criteria of a speech evaluation contest are as follows. The first, analytical quality, so 40%, and recommendation for 30%, techniques 15, and summation 15. The speaking order has been identified by the crown of the speaking slot by the contestant, the presence of chief judge at the beginning of the contest. The chief judge has already introduced our able contest assistant. I shall therefore introduce the contestant for the evaluation contest. Please hold your applause until I have named all them. The contestant, please stand up to recognize and please remain standing until all of you have been introduced. The contestant number 1, Toastmaster Ibrahim Ali Bakshikar. Contestant number 2, Toastmaster Iqbal Qasim. Contestant number 3, Toastmaster Hazan Hussain. Contestant number 4, Toastmaster Chicho Koshu. Contestant number 5, Toastmaster Sundar Ramalingam. Contestant number 6, Toastmaster Muhammad Mateen. Contestant number 7, Toastmaster Guru Rajan. Contestant number 8, Toastmaster Jogaren. Ladies and gentlemen, these are all the contestants for today's evaluation contest. Please give a big round of applause. Thank you, contestant. May you remind the contestant not to be beside any of the judges. Thank you. For the contest, all evaluators will work with one and the same target speaker. At the end of the speaker deliver, there shall be a 5 minutes of the silence for all the contestants to complete their notes. The contestants will remain, please use only the official evaluation sheet provided to you by the chief judge. At the end of that, the 5 minutes silence, the contestant number 1 shall remain in the hall, while all other contestants will surrender their notes and mobile phone to the sergeant arms and allow themselves to be escorted to the isolation room. They will see their travel sequence only. I shall introduce the contestant in the following manner. Contestant number, contestant name, contestant number, and contestant name. At this point, are there any questions and clarifications? None here. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now my pleasure to introduce to you for our target speaker. Today, conduct speech evaluation contest, we need a test speaker, right? Today, our test speaker, Toastmaster Lido Kido, and his speech is, vengeance is mine.
Am I audible? Am I audible?
Lido Chio. Please help me welcome to lecture.
Hello? Hello? Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Vengeance is mine.
Vengeance is mine.
Vengeance is mine. Lido Chio.
Last word, what is mine, mine,
Mind.
M-I-N-D.
M-I-N-E, mind.
The wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, they always say that life is like a wheel. Sometimes we are up and sometimes down, like a wheel. It came to a point that I was down, being hit by the shot block and splashed by the mads on the roads. I could still remember during my childhood days when I was scared, frightened, and terrified because of bullying. Yes, I was bullied by someone. And everyone's eyes, I may be small and vulnerable like a nun. But little did they know, my bite was as painful as a lion. Oh, don't take it seriously, because the truth is, I am harmless. It happened 30 years back. One night, I was walking alone on my way back from school when I came across to a group of youngsters who happened to be my schoolmate. They blocked my way, and the leader, named Lucky, suddenly punched me on my stomach. All of them laughed at me, and Lucky said, "Hey, little ants, can you give me some push-ups?" I felt petrified and obliged to obey his command. And when I stood up, another person punched me again and again until I managed to run away, despite of the agony all over my body. As I arrived home, I went immediately inside my room, as I didn't want my parents to see my condition. For a few days, I kept my silence. Eventually, it led me to have an anxiety attack and felt uneasy. I would rather choose to be alone and skip all my classes. My mother noticed me this unusual behavior and confronted me. I was helpless and nowhere to go. So I finally confessed to my parents the incident. My mom burst into tears when she saw the bruises on my body. She hugged me tight. That moment, I felt that I was not alone. I have my ally, my dearest mom. It was probably a mother's instinct to do everything to protect her children. Without hesitation, we went to the council village. Rocky, together with his parent and the youngster involved, were called by our chieftain. Finally, they asked for forgiveness and promised us that it will never happen again. Friends, it was a long time ago. I may forgive, but not easy to forget. Every time I remember that incident, the traumatic feeling keep on haunting me. It is the worst feeling you could ever imagine. The worst feeling of fear, isolation, rejection, and depression. I kept on telling myself that one day The vengeance will be mine. Forward 30 years, during my vacation in the Philippines, I attended an event in our former school. A man suddenly came to me. How could I forget a person who had caused misery and anxiety as I grew up? Rocky was with a young lady. I tried to escape from them, but it was too late. He hugged me tight and said, "Thank you very much, Sir Lito. My family and I are so grateful to see you. By the way, she is my daughter, one of your scholars. Because of your financial support, she is now a school teacher." I couldn't speak at that moment. It seemed all those horrible memories had been swept away, and all I could do was to sincerely smile and greeted him. Suddenly, I felt relieved with all the burdens in my heart. I did not get the kind of vengeance that I wished for, but that time I realized that forgiveness, understanding, and compassion are what matter most. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, do not repay evil for another evil. Remember, true justice can be obtained when we do what is right and believe that right things will happen. Friends, be kind to everyone because we will never know when will be our ups and downs. As life is like the wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round. Contest Master.
Thank you, Toastmasters. It was a delightful speech. I request our guest speaker to receive the participation certificate. Unnecessary singing. Let us observe 5 minutes for the silence for all the contestants to complete their notes for evaluation. Mr. Timer, please give us the signal at the end of the 5 minutes. China. May I request contestants except contestant number 1 to rise, approach the certain terms, surrender your nose, mobile phone, and allow yourself to be escorted to the isolation room. Just collect all notes and mobile phones. Contestants, shall I continue? Ladies and gentlemen, let's call the first contestant. The contestant number 1, Toastmaster Ibrahim Ali Kachikar. Contestant number 1, Ibrahim Ali Kachikar. Contestant number 1.
Today, we witnessed what a fascinating speech it was. It's in line with the principles what Mahatma Gandhi taught. An eye for an eye is going to make the world blind. The time when you were punched in your tummy and to the time when you got one of the most noblest profession of teaching, the way you went through was fascinating. I truly loved the speech you gave. The way you started your speech was fascinating. It reminded me the way I used to boost my children. The wheel of the earth goes round and round, round and round, round and round. It took me back to what extent can we truly have influence over the people by instilling the positive energy which is required for every one of us. Every one of us have an opportunity, and the opportunity what you grabbed today was fantastic. I loved your eye contact. You were looking into the camera, and I could see that you were connected with all of us. The clarity of your voice was fascinating. The body language was in sync with the content what you were presenting. We could sense that you have mastered that entire speech. And there was no two ways you could present the similar speech if you presented it second time. So the confidence level was truly excellent for you. The way you demonstrated the fear and the rejections when your voice came down and when you changed your modulation. I loved it. I could truly feel the rejection what you had faced when you have been bullied. And bullying goes on in the world today. And then people rest of their life live for the revenge. But the choice is what you make, what you demonstrated. The way you demonstrated. I loved it. But then, for some reason, I thought you could have kept your camera where you could show 2/3 of your body rather than 1/3 of the body. There was room for improvement there. It seems like you bartered your close-up, where you could have gone a little back and your whole body would have been visible. That was one thing. And for some reason, I thought you were sneaking this way. Was it the script or something else? I don't know. But when you give the speech, look into the camera. There is nothing left or right. People are watching. And I could see your attention to grab. That's only two things. Otherwise, you are a super speaker. Over to you, Contest Master. Thank you. And thank you for starting.
This is called the select us to understand to receive the certificates. Ladies and gentlemen, we shall observe the 1 minute silence to the judges to mark their badge. Time up. Next, contest number 2, Toastmaster Iqbal Kazi. Contestant name Iqbal Kazi, contest number 2.
Start. Vengeance is mine. What a great topic chosen by Toastmaster Lito. Toastmaster Lito have done a great job today. Though it was a 5 to 7 minute speech, we could witness a great, awesome speech with which we learned how to be kind. You started your speech with a basic tool, an anecdote. Life is like a wheel, so it goes round and round. Your facial expressions, I enjoyed a lot. You are laughing, you are crying, so wow, wonderful. And I could admire the way someone was punching you, you just falling down and coming back. Again, another person coming, punching. It was like I am watching a movie. The vocal variety was perfect, where you brought in dialogues between you and your friend, you and your mom. So overall, it was a great speech with variety. Coming to the recommendations part, each speech has its own pros and cons. Always remember 20-80 rule. 20% is your words, which you use in the speech, and the 80% belongs to the actions, which is non-verbal. So on this part, I would recommend you to use more actions. Okay, since it's a hybrid meeting, we could not hear your voice properly. Rather, your actions would have added more advantage and weightage to your speech. When your friend pumps you, you would have fallen and you would have shown a little bit of pain. That would add again one more weightage for your speech. When you use the word as I grow up, your action was like as I grow up. Instead, your hand gestures could have been like when I grow up. This action speaks more than a word. Another suggestion for you is repeating your title will be more suitable for the audience to remember what you are speaking. Overall, it was a great speech, Toastmaster Lito. You had a great body language, vocal variety. Overall, wonderful speech. On the recommendation part, you have to work out on your actions and repeating your title. With this, you will grow to the next level. Thank you, and back to you.
Contestant to receive their participation certificate. Ladies and gentlemen, shall we observe the 1 minute silence for the judges to mark their talent? Time up. Contestant number 3, Toastmaster Hassan Hussain. Toastmaster Hassan Hussain, contestant number 3.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, my distinguished guest, contest chair, and my speaker, Toastmaster Leto. You take us all to the journey of life. Life journey is full of ups and downs. You take us driving all across your life journey. It was a great moment. Inspiring the story you had. You bring in your whole life journey from your childhood, where you were a terrible guy, a very fearful guy, who was always feared of getting bullied. And then you took us towards after 30 years of age, where you became confident and you proved that vengeance was yours. Toastmaster Leto, a great speech you have delivered in front of all of us. I like your confidence, your stage movement, the way you were presenting the speech. It was awesome. Great speech you delivered. Something I would like to suggest you in your speech, that is, when you talk about forgiveness, or when you talk about emotion where you are saying you had a great heart, please try to bring in this emotion in your expression as tight hug. It shall be appear in your expression as well. And when you talk about forgiveness, please express in your facial expression as well. Please forgive me. As well as you are mentioning about your childhood where your friend punched you in the stomach. It should be expressing by your face. Someone punched you. Ah, I could feel that pain from your face. It shall appear. That was somewhere missing. That expression we were looking for. As well as you, when your friends were beating you, punching you on the back, on your stomach, until you tried to run away, you were having a scope of using a stage, showing us how to run away from your friends, getting rid from them. As well as you were having a great scope of conversation. When you have different characters, you are bringing in different characters in your speeches. Try to bring in some conversation. Overall, the speech was great. You had great opening, transition, as well as a call of action. We shall not cut evil on evil. Do it right, always. Life is full of ups and downs. Never kill your life. It was a great message for a speech. If you incorporate these things, add vocal variety and facial expression, body gesture, and some conversation, we would have a great speech. Over to you, contestant.
I request to the contestant to receive the participation certificates. Ladies and gentlemen, we shall observe the 1 minute silence for the judges to mark their badge. Time up. Contest number 4, Toastmaster Teacher Koshi. Toastmaster Teacher Koshi, contest number 4.
Vengeance is mine. I will be victorious after 30 years. Contest chair, fellow Toastmasters, distinguished guests. Our hero today, Toastmaster Lito Kyoto, showed dealt kindness. What a relatable story he has given to us today. I just remembered my days when I was bullied in my college. It was a ragging moment. Those days, you can see me shivering. I still get. He reminded me of those days. The best part of his speech was the body movements. He really brought in a live movement, punches. Wow, great way to grab us into the speech. And he gave great vocal variety. You could see how he's dealing when he's dealing with his teacher or with the schoolmates, with the friends, and his mother. As I analyzed his speech, he had a great opening. What goes around comes around. And life is a wheel, up and down. Then, in his body, he gave the story of his school and the sufferings he had, the pain. Really, superb. But then, and he concluded well that vengeance could be dealt in many ways. The best way is kindness. And the teacher was the best example. What I would recommend for Toastmaster Licho Kyoto, our best speaker, he would have the compassion. Compassion comes with a sad moment. When mother is there, he could have spoken a bit slower so that we fall into that situation. We understand his feelings. It's not, but his face expressions did not go with the moment. He was showing a happy face. Bullying. Everybody is a victim of bullying. But when you speak about bullying, show that facial expressions of bullying. Nobody likes bullying. So that has to be taken care of. And one gesture which went wrong was mentioning when he's small. Small would have been done this way. So those things could have really improvised. Overall, great speech, great body movements, vocal variety to suit the speech. Only subtle improvements in his compassion points. And he's the best speaker. Back to you.
You will see that what is facing. Ladies and gentlemen, we shall observe the 1 minute silence for the judges in their ballots. Time up. Contestant number 5, Toastmaster Sundar Ramalinga. Toastmaster Sundar Ramalinga, contestant number 5.
Life is like a wheel that goes round and round and round. Anything that goes up has to come down. Fellow Toastmaster, judges, and all my dear friends, is there anyone among you who would deny this? Thank you very much to our guest speaker, Toastmaster Lito Krito, for bringing up this beautiful message in such an eloquent speech that every one of us is able to understand this. Life is all about facing those ups and downs, trials and tribulations and testing times. And every time we try to seek revenge. Revenge need not be bitter. Rather, it could be delivered with kindness, compassion, and forgiveness. The whole speech of Toastmaster Lito Kito was just emphasizing this. No matter, it could be someone who is bullying you. No matter, it could be someone who's hitting you or punching you. Deliver vengeance in your own style with kindness and compassion. On the whole, a great speech Thanks again for the test speaker Toastmaster leader. Some of the best parts of the speech, which were like the wheels that were going up and up and up, were his ability to tell a beautiful story. He was indeed a master storyteller, especially with those ups and downs, twists and turns like a roller coaster. When we were expecting, after he meets Blackie after 30 years, that would be a brawl. But there was a brotherly hug. The next thing is those fantastic one-liners like forgiveness, understanding, compassion, justice will be served when you feel the right thing will always happen. And be kind to anyone. And last but not the least, the message, the wholesome connectivity of the story from the wheels on the bus that go round and round from the beginning till the end. And then vengeance that can be served sweet in your own style. That was a wholesome package that was taking us up and up and up. Thank you very much, Toastmaster. But if I have to suggest to you some recommendations that are like the downs of the wheel, which you can take them up further. You had a lot of scope for gestures. We are talking about punches, one from the right, one from the left. This could be. And there was a lot of scope for you to do stage anchoring. When you are talking about the ups in the life, the positivity, coming forward and moving backwards, we are talking about those trying and testing times when you are always in the down. And last but not the least, you were presenting on a virtual stage where facial expressions such as fear, isolation, struggle, anger could easily be portrayed into the camera. And finally, if you had laid a little bit more emphasis on the struggle, when you meet Blackie, if there was a touching scene with a little bit of pause and that emotional element, I'm pretty sure it was not a video. Your speech would have been on the next best level. On the whole, it was a great speech with these recommendations of gestures, stage anchoring, and those compassionate moments in the emotional struggle. I'm pretty sure your speech will be on the championship spike, reaching higher and higher. Back to you, Constance.
It's fantastic to receive that. Ladies and gentlemen, we shall observe the 1 minute silence for the judges to mark their talent. Contest number 6, Toastmaster Mohammed Mateen. Toastmaster Mohammed Mateen, contest number 6.
Very good evening, fellow Toastmasters, my dear guests, and our target speaker for tonight. If I'm not wrong, Lido is what I heard. Lido, what a great speech it was. The way you started with the song and with the action. You took us behind the memory lane and took us to those history years where we could feel that we are going rewound on the time. You had a great opening with the start, with the song, and then you had a great theme, vengeance is mine. And you connected well to the topic. You had a great voice modulation, body language, eye contact, and of course the body. You had the recommendation, and you gave call of action, and overall it was a great speech. But if at all, if I have to recommend something to you, the body language, the hand gestures, what you made while in the school, you could have given some expressions like in the school when you're a kid, a small kid, you could act like a kid. And when we say bullying, you could have come up with your back, with the kid coming like this, and then you've been punched. You could have shown that action and made people feel the emotions of you feeling it, how the punch it was, and a group of guys playing and you running on to your mom, and then your mom is there for you. When you speak about your mom, you could have been a little feminine and tears rolling down her eyes. You could have showed the emotions on it. And then you went to the village where you were relieved. You could have shown that you were relieved. And then when you forgave everyone, the pressure going out of you, the way you feel good about it. And then after 30 years, you happen to meet the same guy, and he gives a gift to you by telling that his daughter is a school teacher. That is which makes you feel so proud about it. And then you forgave them, and then you had an action telling that forgiveness is what you call for the action. Then again, you brought it all back with the nostalgic feeling of again going back, and then again going with that song and giving a proper summation. Overall, it was a great speech. If at all, if you add all these things to your list, you would be a great speaker. Thank you very much.
Contest to receive the participation certificate. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we shall observe the 1 minute silence for the judges to mark their ballots. Time up. Contest number 7, Toastmaster Guru Raj. Toastmaster Guru Rajan, contest number 3.
It is a speech with value. You all know that the forgiveness is the very basic element in every human being to lead a normal life. Thanks to our speaker, Leo, for bringing and giving the message to us. The excellent message he showed like a wheel with hand gestures. Once we may be on the top at some time and we may go down, because all the time we have to forgive and we have to be kind to the people. That was the message. I'm really very thankful to give such a message. one of the things what I liked him, he started speech with a song. Who didn't like the song? And song along with the hand gestures. So to attract all the attention of the people, the good theme and the actions, hand gestures. What I find in him, the energy was there throughout the speech. Only good speakers can deliver such a energy. And then his diction. He was very careful that everybody should understand his language. I could understand that. And another good is his vividity in his speech. When he was getting punched, I could see an image in front of me that somebody was putting him and somebody was punching him. I don't know how I got the image. Another one, when he was getting hugged by a person who punched him, I could see the image that really something is happening. So it was a good speech also with a variety of facial expressions and vocal variety. It could be delivered only by an experienced speaker like that. Really, hats off to his speech. It was an amazing speech. And whatever be the speeches out there, we can only add some small salt to the food, which will add more interest, or small spice to the food. One of the things what I could see is he can add some narration in his speech, especially when the crucial, the heart of the speech is the offender was hugging him. At that moment is the heart of the speech, where he could have brought the conversations between him and this thing, and the emotional movement for the person who offended him. So that he could have brought it there, because that would have gone very deep into the people's mind. We could have taken the message very nicely, because he has to add the narration. Same way when he was getting punched also, he could have added some narration, some sort of conversation between the people, so that the theme goes very deep into this one. And what I feel is, next one is a very serious speech. If I say to add the humor, everybody will find how it is. Perhaps he could have added humor in the beginning of his speech, before he was getting punched. Then it would have been a mixture of everything. So what I find is, overall, it's a really value speech with a value, with a very good vocal variety, facial expressions, the energy and vividity and whatnot. In addition, if you could improve like some more narration with conversation and added with the humor, it would have been a very good speech, the champion speech. And good luck to him. Go to the contest most.
Wishes to contest to get the participation certificate. Ladies and gentlemen, we shall observe the 1 minute for silence for the judges who have marked their talent. Time up. Contest number 8, Toastmaster Jafar Ali. Toastmaster Jafar Ali, contest number 8.
Contest chair, fellow Toastmasters and guests, what good evening to all. First of all, let us appreciate our target speaker. Wow, what a great speech. It is marvelous.
It is fantastic. Today, my speaker, he gave a very good message, which is required for the whole world today. What we need, leave revenge. We need this world. It's rotating. The love, patience, all these qualities which are most important. It's the most important quality in life. He has explained with his personal story from childhood. He could have responded with the angry and fast response, but he took a different approach. That approach, he also lived with peace of mind, and the person who made a mistake or who took him in a bad way, attacked him, also they changed their mindset. Normal people, we are living in this world. We don't have patience. We are living with ego, and we are not seeing the people with humanity and all this. If we give love to the people, we will get the love. My target speaker, he has explained the kindness and forgiveness with the touching personal stories. Excellent eye contact and body gestures, attracting and involving the audience, and very good vocal variety. I have two suggestions for my speaker. If he includes some humor in his speech, that could have given more attraction with the audience. We will enjoy. And second one, the speaker, he could use the body gestures wherever it is appropriate. And I enjoyed thoroughly. Back to Toastmasters of the year.
I request the contestant to receive their participation certificate. Ladies and gentlemen, we shall observe the 1 minute silence for the for 5 minutes, 3 minutes, for 3 minutes for the judges to mark their ballots. Congratulations to all the contestants. To Toastmasters and guests, I truly enjoyed being your contest master for the evaluation contest today. I hope you enjoyed the contest too. So I now hand over to the lecture to contest chair.